What if an interstellar object whirling through our solar system is actually a nuclear-powered spacecraft?
Blazing at 124,000 miles per hour. We're talking about an object with the size and force of a miniature star. The sun itself holds an octillion tons of mass. Now imagine something like that launched across the cosmos faster than a speeding bullet. It raced past Mars. And right when this interstellar visitor, designated 3I Atlas, made its closest approach, NASA's data feeds went completely silent. The official word was government shutdown. But the timing? Let's just say it raises eyebrows. Now, physicists like Michio Kaku are sounding alarms, warning that what NASA isn't revealing could have staggering implications. Because this isn't just space debris, it's a mystery that breaks every known rule of interstellar behavior, and it's drawing nearer. The real danger isn't in what NASA admits, but in what the data refuses to hide. The shutdown explanation came at the perfect moment, a bureaucratic smokescreen that paused non-essential operations. But how convenient is that? Researchers across the planet, from Japan to Europe, waited for the live data. Spectral readings, high-resolution imagery, telemetry that could define what 3I Atlas really was. Was it solid? What shape did it have? What was venting from its surface? Instead of answers, they got blank screens and broken links. That blackout pulled the curtain down on the most critical moment of its journey. What little we did capture before and after the blackout only deepens the mystery. The images show an object stretched and slender, resembling the infamous cigar-shaped Oumuamua, not the rounded, icy form of a normal comet. What's baffling is what's missing. No bright tail, no glowing trail of gas and dust. Instead, it's wrapped in a faint, misty shroud of charged particles that behaves unlike anything in our vast catalog of comets. It's not a coma, not a tail, something else entirely. This strange haze absorbs and releases light in ways our models can't explain. Some theorists even think it could be a kind of shielding. Then there's its route. The trajectory alone tells a story. 3I Atlas moves within just 5 degrees of Earth's orbital plane. Think about that. Interstellar objects normally plunge in from random angles, above or below the solar disk. But this one is cruising perfectly along the same flat highway where all our planets orbit. The odds of that alignment by chance? Astronomically small. Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb calls it suspiciously precise. It's the ideal track for detection, the same line of sight used by civilizations scanning for life. Anyone along that plane could have watched Earth cross its sun, the exact method we use to spot exoplanets ourselves. They'd know where we are, and that our planet supports life. And now this object is passing right through that discovery corridor. Its timing, too, defies randomness. After Mars, its path carries it near Jupiter on March 16, 2026. An interstellar traveler visiting multiple planets in sequence within one system. The probability of that happening by chance? Less than 1 in a million. This isn't an accident. This is precision. The question now is whether we're witnessing a quirk of nature or a piece of technology. That blackout during the Mars pass might have cost us the one set of readings that could have told the difference. What if the true reason for the secrecy lies in its unthinkable mass? 7 red flags. Our understanding of the cosmos rests on rules, laws of physics that celestial bodies are expected to obey. 3I Atlas doesn't just bend them, it smashes them. Scientists have logged at least 7 anomalies, each one stranger than the last, pushing this thing from curiosity to concern. Unlike the cigar-like Oumuamua or the ordinary comet Borisov, this visitor fits no category we know. First, its impossible mass. At more than 73 trillion pounds, it outweighs SpaceX's Starship rocket by over 6 million times. Harvard's researchers came to that figure after observing something extraordinary. Even as it vented gas and dust that should have acted like tiny thrusters, its course barely shifted. Typical comets get nudged around like balloons losing air, but not this one. The only explanation? It's so heavy, its inertia so immense that even powerful outgassing can't change its direction. And given what we know about the sparse dust between stars, there simply shouldn't be enough raw material to form something this huge naturally. That's anomaly number 2, the absence of smaller cousins. If nature made objects this massive, it should be making hundreds of smaller ones too, but it hasn't. Loeb ran the math. Based on what's drifting between stars, we should have seen a steady stream of lesser interstellar bodies by now. We haven't. It's like finding a single mountain in a desert with no pebbles around it. That's not nature. That's intent. The third anomaly lies in its chemistry. Scientists detected cyanide and carbon monoxide, ordinary ingredients for comets. But then something unexpected. The spectral readings from its dust suggest a region filled with complex silicates, the kind that form in warm, rocky places like a planet's crust, not in the frozen depths between stars. It's as if a piece of another world was torn free and hurled into the void. Fourth, its unnatural resilience. On September 25th, a massive solar eruption blasted straight toward it. A coronal mass ejection, a storm of charged particles, powerful enough to rip a comet apart. Yet 3I Atlas stayed intact, no breakups, no flare of debris, just a smooth, controlled swelling of its hazy outer shell, almost as if it were reinforced, made of something stronger than rock or ice. The fifth anomaly? Its light polarization. When sunlight bounces off a comet's dust, it normally produces a positive polarization. Every comet we've ever studied does this, except 3I Atlas. It shows extreme negative polarization. That's not a subtle deviation, it's a total inversion, meaning the particles surrounding it are made of materials utterly foreign to our solar system. Maybe complex, maybe artificial, but definitely different. Sixth, its flight path. Its orbit hugs the solar plane within 5 degrees, a 1 in 50,000 chance. Add the timed Mars and Jupiter encounters and the odds plummet to less than 1 in a million. From an engineering perspective, it's the ideal trajectory for a probe sent to study multiple planets with maximum efficiency. And seventh, its shape. Elongated, cylindrical, a form that gravity doesn't create on its own. Natural bodies become spheres. Only something built would favor a long, narrow design, perfect for slicing through interstellar dust at incredible speeds. Each anomaly is strange enough alone. Together, they form a pattern, and that pattern is deeply unsettling. The theory gaining traction now isn't that it's a comet, but cargo. Think of it this way, the best place to hide a tree is in a forest, and the best way to hide a probe is to make it look just like a comet. This is the essence of what scientists have started calling the Trojan horse theory, a concept that grows more convincing with every anomaly discovered. Avi Loeb himself suggests the perfect disguise would be something mostly natural, but just unnatural enough to reveal its true nature under close inspection. A probe drifting quietly through the galaxy, passing unnoticed from star to star until it slips into systems like ours, camouflaged, patient, and observant. If an advanced civilization wanted to explore the Milky Way, this method would make sense. Millions of disguised probes gathering data for millennia, drifting between stars, occasionally swooping close to inhabited worlds like ours, watching, recording, and maybe even transmitting home. Its 5-degree orbital alignment wouldn't be coincidence. It'd be a deliberate design, a route planned to pass multiple planets in one efficient sweep. Its strength against solar storms? Expected, if it were built from materials beyond our imagination. Even its odd polarization might just be a side effect of alien engineering. The implications are enormous. If this really is a probe, its mission remains unknown. Is it a peaceful scout mapping the stars? Or something more deliberate, something with intent? And that mass, 73 trillion pounds, might not just be weight. It could be storage, cargo, or an internal power source meant to last millions of years. But not everyone sees it as a threat. Some scientists think 3I Atlas could be part of something far bigger, literally the seed of worlds. Dr. Suzanne Fauner, a German astrophysicist, ran simulations suggesting that massive interstellar bodies like this might act as planetary starters. If one were caught in the gravity of a young star, it could spark planet formation almost instantly, turning dust clouds into new worlds in a fraction of the usual time. If that theory is right, then maybe even Earth or Jupiter began this way, born from an ancient traveler just like 3I Atlas billions of years ago. In that sense, this object wouldn't be a threat, it'd be a builder, a cosmic architect. But what if it's here to begin again, to build something new in our system? Right now, it's speeding up. From 82,000 miles per hour and climbing, soon nearing 100,000 as it approaches the sun. That kind of acceleration, paired with that kind of mass, creates unimaginable energy. If it were to collide with anything, the results would be catastrophic. While it's not currently on a collision path, massive comets are unpredictable. They fragment, they veer, and one this large could change direction with forces we can't yet measure. That's why the European Space Agency may be our last hope for clarity. While NASA's systems went offline, ESA's Mars Express and Trace Gas Orbiter kept their instruments running. Their next probe, JUICE, set to study Jupiter, is on course to intercept 3I Atlas in November 2025. The data it gathers might finally tell us what this thing really is. If it has heat patterns, metallic surfaces, or internal structures that shouldn't exist in nature. What's terrifying isn't one theory, it's that all the evidence keeps pointing away from nature and toward design. The countdown is already on. Our window to study it is closing fast. By December 19, 2025, 3I Atlas will make its closest pass, just 167 million miles from Earth. That may sound distant, but in cosmic terms, it's practically a front-row seat. After that, it will fade back into the dark and be gone, likely forever. Whatever truth it carries, whether it's a natural anomaly, a world builder, or a Trojan horse, we've got only weeks left to uncover it. Once it moves past, it becomes another ghost story lost to the stars. Scientists everywhere are racing to collect every scrap of data they can before that moment comes. But the question lingers, what if the most critical evidence was already gathered and hidden? That blackout during the Mars flyby still casts a shadow over everything we think we know. And what's wild is how this single object has forced humanity to stare down possibilities we once dismissed as science fiction. The list of anomalies has become too long to ignore. Even the most cautious researchers are beginning to ask the uncomfortable questions, questions that challenge our entire understanding of who we are in the universe. A black swan event is something so improbable it shatters the way we see reality. 3I Atlas is exactly that, a cosmic black swan. Whether natural or engineered, it's already changed what we believe is possible. So what is it really, a freak of nature, or proof that we are not alone? If you believe the truth matters, stay tuned because the story of 3I Atlas is far from over. Hit like, subscribe, and remember, the next visitor from the stars might not be silent for long.